Hello and welcome to the first ever Grand Mid-Off. In today's Grand Mid-Off, I'll be making the Rogue from 2024 and the Ranger from 2024 go band for band and see who truly is the worst class. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more D&D Baldur's Gate 3 content, and I guess more Grand Mid-Offs, make sure to also subscribe and turn on post notifications so then you don't miss when I upload a video. So yeah, let's get into it. Just give a little I guess like context. The 2024 Rogue and Ranger reveals were dropped, and let's just say that the D&D community, didn't really receive it too well. Both classes got new buffs. Don't get me wrong. Weapon masteries for both is really nice, but overall, they didn't really get much. People were expecting them to get more. Now, the 2024 Ranger really did pretty badly in most people's eyes. Most people can kind of go with the Rogue. Yeah, it didn't get much, but overall, what it did get is pretty massive. But when it comes to the Ranger, a lot of people are mad at it, saying that it completely missed the mark. Pun intended. And overall, people are like, okay, my new version of the Ranger is still, I'm just going to update it. So it seems that people are a lot more mad at the Ranger. But is that anger really warranted? Is the Ranger bad, or can it actually be better than what is considered to be another pretty bad class, which is the 2024 Rogue? Now, if you want any of the links, YouTube videos, or whatever I use to make this video, make sure to just leave a comment down below, whatever link or whatever you want, and I'll happily provide it to you. Now, to give credit where it's due, I used this dice calculator website to get the averages. The 2024 Rogue article on D&D Beyond, a one D&D playtest collection that I found on the internet. I don't know who it was made by, but I will provide the link if asked for. And finally, D&D D4 Deep Dives video on the 24 Rogue Assassin, the full build. This gave me all of the abilities that the Rogue gets. So I just want to shout out a massive shout out to D&D D4 Deep Dive for providing this for free for everyone. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So at level 5, which I decided to start this off because that's pretty much when classes get their big thing, the Ranger seems to be massively outdoing the Rogue. The Ranger at level 5 with Hunter's Mark taking the Beastmaster subclass, using everything that was provided in the playtest and in the new reveal video, it did an average of 42.5 damage. Now, granted, this is, I am pretty sure, with at least one turn of setup. Granted, if you exclude that one turn of setup, your damage won't go down by too much, but still a decent amount, so I thought I'd mention it. Overall, it can do 42.5 average damage per round, which is pretty damn high for most classes. A couple of days ago, I did my own little video. I did something personal, kind of like deciding, oh, how much average damage can the main marshals get? Now, these numbers may be extremely off, so I won't really list them to like kind of screw your mind up a little bit. But overall, this was pretty average or a little bit higher. Now, if you want the full calculation, I will show it to you. This was using the Beast of the Land, assuming you had your Maul attack, except of for proficiency bonus using your Wisdom modifier, because I was stated in the 2024 Ranger video. I used that with Hunter's Mark, and I used the Vex and Nick properties with a scimitar and a short sword with the Ranger, plus Hunter's Mark, and that's how I calculated my damage. And I also assumed you took a feat that increases your dexterity to a minimum of 18. And now, with the level 5 rogue, on average, you do 30.5 damage. Now, this is significantly lower. If you want to know, I use sneak attack, assumed you just got it, and Vex and Nick property with two crossbows, so then you can do it at a range. But if you use two scimitars, it legit doesn't matter. Of course, I assumed you took a +1 feat for your dexterity, because of course. But yeah, looking at it here, a 30.5 average damage isn't the worst, but it does get significantly worse when you realize you have to minus 5 because you only get +5 to your damage thanks to your assassin feature. Because if you don't know, at level 3 assassin, thanks to Kobe's video, let me pull that up where he has the screenshot. You basically can add, if it's your first turn of combat and you attack someone with sneak attack before they go, you can add your rogue level of damage. So, and here you're level 5, meaning you can add additional 5 damage. So yeah, this is pretty. It's a significant gap, and in my opinion, if you use the rogue how you should do and do poison strike, that damage changes to 28. Not that much of a difference. A 2.5 damage difference. So yeah, overall, it's pretty damn like noticeable that the ranger is out damaging the rogue by a decent amount, especially if you do remove the assassinate feature from the rogue, which they won't get every turn. The rogue definitely is getting out damaged. Now, of course, before you realize this, just because the rogue does less damage doesn't mean it's inherently worse. Just check out the video I made on rogues and why it's better than most people say, if you want to find out. But the rogue has amazing utility and should be seen as a mainly utility focused class that can do good damage. Now, at level 7 is when rangers get another feature, which is exceptional training. And this basically just gives the beasts of the land an additional d6 thanks to the charge feature. Because basically, with the charge feature says, if they move in a 20-foot line to your enemy, they can and hit a maul attack, they get an additional d6 slashing damage or force damage at this level, which overall is nice, but yeah, it's not the biggest. So here is our level 7 damage. We have 46 with Hunter's Mark for the Ranger, but 36 with the Rogue. Now, again, this is a whole 10 point on average damage. Now, this isn't assuming crits, because if we are, then the Rogue is gonna probably be a lot better, but still, this is pretty bad. The Rogue is still getting out damaged here. And if you're using Poison Strikes, like I assume, you probably should be, because that's how I feel like Rogue should be played. Again, you get 32.5 damage, which, again, is better, is worse, but not by much. Yeah, overall, again, the Ranger is just out damaging him because the Ranger is just significantly better, damage wise at least. It really is showing that the higher the Ranger gets, the more and more damage this subclass just does. And surprisingly, the Beastmaster Ranger might not be the most powerful Ranger when it comes to attack or just damage in general. But skipping all the way to level 11, which is kind of the capstone of this contest, we can see that again, the Ranger now has the Rogue beat once again, solely thanks to Bestial Fury, which allows the Beast to take advantage of Hunter's Mark and make an additional attack in a turn. Yeah, it's basically done. Now, honestly, I think there's a chance that the Ranger should be doing more damage here, because I may have not given the Beast, Hunter's Mark, so take this number with a little bit of grain of salt, but just know that in general, this number is either lower, but it is not higher, I can guarantee you that. And yeah, the Ranger here is doing 57.5 damage. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, that's pretty damn good. This is only considering one turn of setup, and once you have that one turn, this is just rest of the fight. Of course, if you can have Hunter's Mark up, you just deal this damage. Now, if your Hunter's Mark concentration is broken, however, then your damage significantly plummets. You lose, I think, like 5d6 worth of Hunter's Mark damage, which is pretty insane. Now, the level 11 Rogue can deal a respectable 49 damage. Which, yes, that's respectable, but again, still lower than the Ranger. But if you're using Poison Strikes, like how I think you should be, it goes to 45.5. Which, yeah, again, I don't have to say that every turn. Also, that may be wrong. That shouldn't be as high. Whatever. You get the point. 49 damage, considering you're not using any of your cutting strikes. So yeah, overall, my math may be a little bit wrong in certain places, but pretty consistently, the Ranger is straight up just out damaging the Rogue. So now, purely damage wise, the Rogue is worse. The Rogue has lost the Grand Mid-Offs, and the Ranger has been crowned the better class than a Rogue damage wise. But if that's all you cared for damage, then please leave the video. Make sure to like though, because you did watch up to this point. But if you care for a more general perspective, a more looking at all the places of D&D, overall, the rogue may actually have the ranger beat, in my personal opinion. Yeah, you do less damage, but when you compare it to the amount of utility you bring, I'm not, look, I'm not gonna say that you have the ranger outdo, but I'm gonna say you have the ranger beat. Now, if we pull up the rangers the article they made about it by Damon Cook, as you can see here, the Rangers get spellcasting, but with Hunter's Mark being the main thing you're supposed to use, most of the spellcasting just goes to crap in my opinion. You have Death Explorer, which is, I guess, cool, but overall, none of these features really provide utility. None of these features provide how to deal with traps. I mean, you gain expertise and skills, which is nice, but you gain it later than than the rogue. And also, the rogue can better use that expertise thanks to a now, which is a godsend for our rogue players. Reliable talent is now at level 7, allowing you to never roll less than a 10 on any skill you're proficient in. Meaning you can use those expertises better, you can use those proficiencies better overall. So yes, both classes get expertises and a ton of proficiencies, but the rogue uses them better. Also, I do think the rogue just gets more proficiencies outright. And overall, aside from that, the Road Ranger really doesn't get much utility based stuff. And honestly, reliable talent plus like the ridiculous amount of proficiencies and also cunning strike. If you use your cunning strike correctly, you may be able to poison every single monster you face consistently. And the poison condition, don't get me wrong, can be extremely paralyzing if used correctly. I mean, here I'm gonna just pull up the D&D Beyond what it has it, and a poison creature has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. If you have a character that is like, oh no, okay, forget the ability. The ability check part doesn't really matter that much now since grappling is normal. But also disadvantage on attack rolls, that is massive, and that is until your next turn. So let's just say you're in behind, you take a shot, boom, because eventually they're gonna fail a Constitution saving throw. Now we don't know how often creatures have a good Constitution, but at higher levels, at lower levels, this is extremely paralyzing because monsters don't have that really high proficiency bonus. And also, at like level 5, most monsters don't have a +5 to like a stat, and especially not Constitution of all stats. Meaning, how you're going to be able to poison a creature much more reliably. Now, and also, and one of the main gripes I have with Stunning Strike is that it's a resource that is extremely limited and it's a saving throw that is worse than most casters. But the thing is, this uses your dexterity to scale, meaning your saving throw for this is going to be the same saving throw a wizard has for most of its spells at this level. And when you get magic items, their saving throw is going to be higher, but still, you're going to have around a wizard spell level of spell save DC. And also, this can be done every turn for no price. The sneak attack is something that can be done every turn, and heck, it can be just per round. If you can take like a fighter level if you can take a fighting style and get and get riposte or sentinel even, your cutting strikes you can be applying almost every single attack the poisoned condition, which is ridiculously powerful and pretty debilitating, especially if you have a fighter that's like an 18 or 20 armor class, or heck, if you have an Eldritch Knight fighter that can have up to a 25 armor class. If a creature is rolling with disadvantage, they're not going to be able to hit your Eldritch Knight fighter. Or heck, even a barbarian that is wearing medium armor, how they should be, is going to even like because that's going to cancel the advantage they would have if the barbarian reckless attacks. Meaning that this poison condition, it's absolutely massive, and overall comes at literally no cost, like except for an average 2.5 damage, which is nearly nothing. And also, this poison option is available to every subclass. The thing with the ranger is, if you want to be this OP damaging guy, you have to use the Beast of the Land. Now, the assassin for the rogues probably may be one of the better ones, but that's the only subclass we fully have. The arcane trickster might have something really powerful. The arcane trickster does have stuff like booming blade and such, but we don't know how that's gonna really work because we haven't read because we don't know if they're changing Booming Blade. The Soul Knife and Thief may have some really good magical abilities. Extra damages. Again, we don't know. Overall, as you continue to see, the Rogue just gets more impactful stuff. Because, yes, damage is nice, but as a Rogue, you were never good at being high damage. So now, I feel like in 2024, they're kind of showing and kind of telling Rogue players to wake up. You're not a DPS character, you're a mainly support character. So, long preamble aside, which because it did go for a little long there, to kind of summarize my point, the Rogue does do less damage, but the winner of today's mid-off, I think it's gonna be the Rogue. The Ranger just outright doesn't have as much stuff. The Ranger only has higher damage in one subclass, but overall, the Rogue is just genuinely better for the player, and it's going to be more useful in a general sense. Now, if you disagree with me, then just make sure to leave that down below. I am open to all opinions as long as they are left nicely. Again, if you want any of the links I use for this video, make sure to also leave that down below in the comment section. But yeah, that's been your boy OT19. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, OT19 signing out. Peace.